A small island on the map, but a giant in strategy. Taiwan is in the eye of a geopolitical storm. Welcome to World Analysis. Today, we are going to dive into the future of Taiwan, a vibrant democracy and a global technology hub. But what do the Taiwanese really want for the future? And what is the role of powerful countries in this chess game? Let's unravel the history of the dispute and the possible future scenarios. To understand the dispute over Taiwan, we need to go back in time. In the late 1940s, China was in the midst of a bloody civil war. The communists, led by Mao Zedong, won in 1949. The nationalists sought refuge on the island of Formosa, now Taiwan. And so, the Republic of China was born in Taiwan. The geopolitical stalemate continues to this day. While mainland China followed the path of socialism with Mao at the helm, Taiwan decided to take a different path. With the help of the United States, the country underwent a process of rapid industrialization and economic development. In the following decades, Taiwan became one of the Asian tigers, with a strong and innovative economy, exporting high-tech products to the entire world. But the changes did not happen only in the economy. From the 1980s onwards, Taiwan began a gradual but profound democratic transition. The one-party regime was coming to an end. Free and direct elections were implemented, and civil rights were expanded. Taiwan's economic rise and democratization strengthened Taiwanese national identity. More and more, Taiwanese people recognize themselves as a unique people with their own values and dreams, different from those of mainland China. But this desire to be independent went against China's ambitions. For Beijing, Taiwan never ceased to be a rebel province, and reunification with the mainland was, and remains, a matter of time and national honor. The international community, in turn, found itself in a complicated situation. On the one hand, it recognized Taiwan's economic and strategic importance and admired its vibrant democracy. On the other hand, no one wanted to provoke the wrath of China, a rising power with increasing military might. Beginning in the 1980s, Taiwan began an impressive political transformation. Under the leadership of Chiang Ching-kuo, son of Chiang Kai-shek, the country embarked on a series of reforms that paved the way for democracy. The authoritarian rule of the Kuomintang began to lose strength, opening space for new political parties and social movements. The press gained more freedom, and Taiwanese civil society began to speak out more and more, demanding democracy and human rights. In 1987, martial law, which had been in effect for nearly 40 years, was finally lifted, marking a pivotal moment in Taiwan's history. The first free and direct elections for parliament were held in 1992, consolidating the transition to a multi-party democratic system. Today, Taiwan is considered one of the strongest and most consolidated democracies in Asia. The island has a multi-party political system, free and fair elections, freedom of the press, and an independent judiciary. But Taiwanese democracy faces a major challenge: constant political and military pressure from mainland China. Beijing refuses to rule out the use of force to achieve reunification, which puts a huge question mark over the island's future. To make matters worse, China has been working to isolate Taiwan internationally. The island is barred from participating in international organizations such as the UN and WHO, and Beijing is pressuring countries that recognize Taiwan as a sovereign state to change their minds. The issue of national identity in Taiwan is controversial, with several layers. Older generations still identify with China. Young people, on the other hand, see themselves as Taiwanese above all else. This division is reflected in Taiwan's politics. Parties advocating independence have strong support among young people. For the People's Republic of China, the Taiwan issue is not open to negotiation. Since 1949, the Chinese government has considered the island to be part of its territory. The One China principle is a cornerstone of Chinese foreign policy. For Beijing, any attempt at Taiwanese independence is an absurd provocation. To achieve reunification, China uses diplomatic, economic, and military tools. In diplomacy, Beijing is pressuring the international community to isolate Taiwan. In economics, China influences Taiwan through trade agreements and investments. Finally, China does not rule out the use of military force. The People's Liberation Army has stepped up its activities in the Taiwan Strait. The dispute over Taiwan has profound geopolitical implications that go beyond Asia. The United States, with its commitment to defend Taiwan, finds itself in a delicate situation. Maintaining support for Taiwan is crucial to containing China's advance. An open war with China would have catastrophic consequences. The United States is at a crossroads when it comes to Taiwan. There is a moral and strategic commitment to the island, seen as an example of democracy. The 1979 Taiwan Relations Act makes clear the U.S. commitment to provide Taiwan with the means to defend itself. China's rise as a global power requires the United States to be realistic. An open war with China over Taiwan would be an unimaginable disaster. The international community is watching closely the tension in the Taiwan Strait. The Taiwan issue is a complex diplomatic problem involving economic interests and geopolitical alliances. Japan and Australia, U.S. allies, expressed concern about China's aggressive stance. In the midst of this geopolitical chess game, most countries seek a balance, avoiding taking sides in the dispute between China and Taiwan. The One China policy allows relations with Beijing without recognizing Taiwan. However, this ambiguity has become unsustainable. China is pressuring countries to cut ties with Taiwan, threatening retaliation. This puts countries in a difficult position between economic interests and democratic principles. A formal declaration of Taiwan's independence is what Beijing fears most. For the Taiwanese, independence represents the realization of a decades-old dream. However, this option is extremely risky. China has made it clear that it will use military force to stop any such move. An armed conflict would have devastating consequences for the region and the global order. For China, reunification with Taiwan is a matter of time and national honor. The reunification proposal faces strong resistance in Taiwan, especially after the protests in Hong Kong. For many Taiwanese, Hong Kong serves as a warning. Given the risks and challenges of independence and reunification, keeping things as they are seems to be the least risky option, but no less unstable. Taiwan would continue to function as an independent country without challenging China with a formal declaration of independence. The future of Taiwan remains unknown, a complex geopolitical mystery. Independence, the dream of many Taiwanese, runs up against China's firm opposition. Reunification faces resistance from the Taiwanese people. Meanwhile, the world watches with apprehension. A conflict in the Taiwan Strait would be a tragedy. triggering a global economic crisis. Finding a peaceful solution requires dialogue and mutual respect between the parties. What do you think about the future of Taiwan? Leave your opinions in the comments. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and activate the bell to receive notifications of upcoming videos. See you next time.